little kitty cats with us. And Liam. He's our live button starter. Okay, I have not been following the chat. We've been sitting here talking about things that we have got to get done. So I've been editing. We finished. Okay, let me start over. The last 2 days, we have been working on the backsplash on the stove, behind the stove, and the vent above. We got a sponsor for a new vent. We got that in. Absolutely love it. It's amazing. Did it pull a bunch of electricity?
It pulled about
300 watts, I feel like.
well,
because there was.
It pulled up to 100, but when you put it on the fan, it pulled up to 200.
Okay, so there's 3 levels on the fan. So I think level 1. It depends upon how many other things we're pulling. Because I remember you said it was at like 300, and then it went up to almost 500. Woo, woo. That'll learn you. Anyway, we also had to show it working in the video. So I cooked smash burgers, which produce a ton of steam and smoke, and it worked pretty good. Like, that's one that really does smoke up super thick fog all through the smoke all in the house. And it still had smoke in the house, but it wasn't terrible. And we just left it on, and by the time we started eating, all the smoke was out of the house.
Yeah.
Without opening any windows or doing anything extra. So that was pretty cool. So we've been working on that. We finished, and I've been editing that video. Beauty. So, but it's hot. Yesterday was miserable. Today was supposed to be hotter, and I don't feel like it was.
It probably was. We just weren't outside because we were inside.
We were inside, and we turned on our swamp cooler that we have. All right, who all is here? We got our usual suspects. Hi, Vicky and KJ. And Off Grid with Pangolin. I always feel like I say that wrong. Homestead.
Makes you feel better. I always want to say penguin.
This kitten is like wanting to go. Hi, Jim. Hi, Anna. Colleen. Oh, okay. So that's our arbor. If you have not seen the video with our arbor, that's the new arbor that we built. I love it so freaking much. So these little lanterns I got at the dollar store for $5, and they have a solar powered candle in it, so it flickers, and it's really, really light and subdued. It doesn't brighten up anything. It's like a little tiny candle. And it's so pretty. I love it. Love it so much. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Sue. Gotta love the swamp coolers. Yep. It does not cool the whole house. So I think the challenge is the shipping container. Just, we get full sun on it at a particular time of day. In the front, I've got a ton of trees, so it's not a lot. I mean, that's why I tucked this back in, because one, it's a metal container. So I knew it was going to be hot in the summertime, and I'm more concerned with hot in the summertime than cool in the winter. Where are you going there, bubbies? Just gonna go see his brother who's napping. Check things out. Then I am cold in the winter because I've got this wood stove in there, so it definitely stays warm. But lanterns on both sides is perfect. Yeah, and I totally agree. Jasper was like, you have to get 2 more, so we got 2 more. I still have not stained the little hangers that we have for them, but I honestly don't think there's anything that I would change on it. I love it. I cannot wait for the clematis to get climbed over it and be dripping all over it with the big giant purple flowers. Like, I am dying for that. And it seems to be taking off this year. And it hasn't gotten eaten by a bunch of rabbits, because that's what happened last year. So it's got a great root system. It should really just take off.
It did get attacked by a goat.
It did get oh my gosh, these goats. So we did our blood test for the pregnancy, and Delilah was like, I'm getting out and I'm playing keep away from you, and I'm going to charge directly to the one thing that you don't want me to take and put the whole thing in my mouth. She was like a kid with a chocolate chip cookie, man. She was like, I'm going to shove this entire thing area done. It looks amazing. That video is going to come out tomorrow morning, so definitely keep your eye open for it. And the company is actually giving a 30% discount to people who use my link. So that's pretty cool. The vent was like $235. And so Kelly had found me one at Habitat for Humanity, and I actually never tried it. I never turned it on. I never plugged it in, turned it on. But we put it up there, and it's a really cool vent. It's just humongous, and it really came out into the room. And when I put it up in a video, people were like, "That's too big for the room. You're gonna hate that." I got like 4 or 5 messages that take that down. It's too big for the room. And now that I've switched it out for this small one, I 100% agree. Because when we took that down, it was like, wow, area is so big.
It was. I had to look away. I was like,
okay, so I know a lot of people get annoyed that we don't work fast, which who cares what people think, right? Like, you do what you do. You do the best that you can, you move on. But Kira and I both, she's way worse. We both have a really hard time with things changing too fast. And for her, it's way worse than me, but I get high levels of anxiety when stuff starts changing really quickly. And especially if there's multiple people helping. And like when the church came out, which was really sweet, and I was super grateful for that, there was so much going on and my anxiety was so high because I had really no control over anything that I was like freaking out. I hate that. Hi, Heather. Let's see. Sue said, my dad planted a Montana Rubens clematis and it went crazy. Amazing coverage for your pretty life. Yeah. So one of the ladies that watches the channel who lives not too far from here, she gave me a milking stanchion. And so when I went over to her house to pick that up, she had this really pretty arbor, and she's like, here's my clematis. And I was like, oh, wow, I really need to beef up my arbor because I did not realize it was going to get that big and be that full and lush. Like, obviously it hadn't taken over yet. I bet hers is gorgeous. I need to tell her to send me a picture for that. Hi, Michael. Greetings from Green Bay, Wisconsin. So there's actually 2 right here, and I'm debating on digging up one and moving it just because of how big it would get. So do you guys hear that baby rooster? He's so cute. He's been practicing for like 3 days. And I got to look it in there, and I think we have like 5 or 6 roosters in there.
none of what she wanted. Of the ones
I have,
she wanted.
yeah, the silkies. I have not seen I do think I saw a rooster in the silkies, but it was the Turkin. It has a naked neck, which I'm not a fan of. So I definitely would not want to be hatching out Turkin silkies. I guess unless they're worth a lot of money, if I can sell them for a lot, then I would. But I think they're ugly.
I think they're cute. Not as cute as these guys.
I am not a fan at all. Not even a little bit.
I think my mom's weird taste in animals rubbed off on me.
Yeah, she really liked those. And event sponsors are underrated. I was pretty excited, man, when they messaged. I mean, since we're on such a strict budget, there's just a lot of things that we get to a point to, and then it's like, I'm just going to sit back and wait on this to see if a sponsor shows up, because I have found this is where you can use the eyes and ears that are watching in your favor, because if I start searching something in my search engine, then I will usually get somebody wanting to sponsor a video. They'll just email me and I'll get it. It's happened like 4 or 5 times.
We got one for cat toys.
Yeah, I haven't received it though. So they were like, hey, do you want to try these cat toys? I was like, heck yeah, I got a whole bunch of kittens that are being born. Send me the stuff. Here's my address, whatever. We haven't received anything yet. And they never replied to the video. I mean, to the email. So we'll see. That would be great if they did. But yeah, so there's the next thing inside that I'm wanting to do is under the sink and get the water pumping in. I think that would make another humongous difference in quality of life to have the water actually pumping in. It's not terrible the way we're doing it right now, and I think that's the problem, because if it was terrible, I would have jumped on this a long time ago. But the fact that I have an under the sink water purifier, which is also a sponsored video, they've been very kind waiting on me to get this done, that we can just drink straight from that little thing. So I'm excited. Hi, Darlene. Speaking of cats, has Brown Brennan had her kittens? No, but she is definitely getting closer. We can tell. She is definitely getting closer. And she also, like yesterday, she came inside like 4 or 5 times during the day, which she doesn't normally do. Normally, she comes outside and she hangs out. And like if I put some chairs up over here, she would sleep in the chairs and hang out right around the house. But she is getting really close to being on lockdown, which is not going to make her happy.
She's probably gonna be like Kai and all pissy and hissy.
I think she's got a week. I think she's got about a week. So we're going to lock her in, which makes it really hard for us because then we have to let the dogs in and out. Like we can't just let them run in and out of their crate. We have to open the crate, let them go out. And I don't like that. I like them getting to have access because they're kind of on lockdown all the time. But what that may make me do is actually put their training collars on and let them come out here and work on their training collars so that they don't run off. Because then they would get to be out more. So,
Especially Justin. Justin will take off.
He's a turkey. Chloe definitely takes off too. They went all the way down the hill, down the driveway to Brian's house, who's at the end of the driveway. Once ran around to the back of his house. He was outside and they were like, hey. He texted me, he's like, don't you have corgis? And I'm like, yes, do you see them? Yeah, I just trapped him in my backyard. I'm like, I'm on my way. Little turkeys. It's not what I said. I said a bad word, but 4 kittens, that's my guess. I'm thinking 6. She is as big as Cagney. Definitely 5 or 6. She has got a little bowling ball in there. I'm dying to see what the colors are. Maybe we'll go live when the kittens start being born and we'll show them to you guys on a live. 6 would be 20 in total. Yeah. Yeah. I want you to know I ran errands in town and got no fast food. I'm so proud of you. What did we get when we went to town? Oh, we went into town. We had to get some more stuff for the vent and an extension bit, because I did try to drill the hole out to get the propane to go out, but the
Hip drill bit broke.
The drill bit in the circular thingy broke, snapped off in there. So I stopped. I was like, we're gonna do this in the next video. We'll get that plumbed through. We'll get and do the top, finish the cabinet up top how I want it, and get that moved out because that was a pain. So I think I'm gonna have to use my bigger drill that's a plug-in drill, and it's just gonna be hard. Thought that my friend is how you become a crazy cat lady overnight. Yes, I have secretly been a crazy cat lady for a long time. Is we've always had in our barn like 5 or 6 cats, and then in the house, at least 2. So we've always had, oh, there she is. We've always had a bunch of cats because we live on a farm. And we have talked about making Kira's cabin into a little cat house that the cats could go into in the wintertime and such. If we decide to keep any. Which I can guarantee you we're keeping some because everybody's getting spayed. But it's hard to make that decision when it's expensive to get them spayed and neutered. And I definitely don't want a bazillion cats up here. And I don't want to be that person that constantly has kittens. What? You don't want, you want me to have kittens all the time? You and Kira both. Hi, Susan. KJ, I think that ship has sailed. I was trying to be nice and guess less. So, what was I saying? My brain is not braining very well. But we've had 2 really, really hot days, which was kind of no fun trying to get this done, this project done in 2 days. But it was nice to push through and be done and be on the other side of it. And tomorrow we're going to go get haircuts. Thinking I'm going to cut my hair short. She's shaving the back of her head because she hates it touching her neck.
Yeah, and it's super hot. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, so she's like, my bed's hot. And I'm like, yep, that's because heat rises. It's the same reason it's the warm spot in the wintertime. That's why they do bunk beds, so you can have a summer bed on the bottom and a winter bed on top.
I would do the summer bed in the bottom, but the kittens took over.
Yeah, we moved all the kittens into her room and made a baby gate.
Best day ever, except they get through the baby gate.
Yeah, they crawl through the baby gate, so there's that.
They're like, oh, this can't stop me.
But they can't crawl out the baby gate that's blocking the door, so at least they're contained into the room, which is fine. The mama seemed to be fine that they're in there. Cagney has not tried to move them yet, which she definitely does.
She tried to kidnap the ones that were outside when we brought them outside.
Yeah, she doesn't like it when we bring them outside. But my big next thing to get done is the chicken run. I'm not really calling it coop because I'm not really enclosing it in right now, but I will do something before winter comes in. But right now it's just the run. And then it will be inside the run. So I'm working on panels for fencing, and I think if I spend a couple of days doing that, then it would be really quick to finish it to where the chickens can go in there. Because they're definitely too big for the little quail hut. And the 5 quail that I have that survived, what are you doing? What do you want? You know that you could just move and they'll be fine.
Do you know how rare it is for them to actually want to sleep with me or on me? Don't take this from me. I better put them out.
Drop the toy. Cat Mountain. Yeah. They are so cute. Like, I definitely love cats. Like, I love dogs too. I mean, anybody that knows me knows that, but I do love cats too. I truly don't. I mean, unless you have an allergy, I don't really understand. They're so easy. But, like, her cat, Kai, he's a bit of a jerk. In fact, right before the live, he was like, I'm going to come sit on your lap and I want attention. And I'm like, you never do this. And now I have to get up to get prepped for the live. And then he gets all mad and he'll bite you. And he's just grumpy. He's grumpy and he's kind of mean.
And then he goes and smacks the dog if you don't let him out.
Yeah, he's a little toot. And he was a rescue and he was a feral kitten and then got brought in. So that actually makes sense with that attitude.
Yeah.
It makes a little bit of sense.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah. He would have loved to have been able to stay kind of feral and be a barn cat. Like, if they would have caught him, neutered him, and rehomed him as a barn cat, I think he would have been super happy about that.
Yeah.
I've only seen him with a little mouse though. The girls are hunters, man. They are like, if it's moving, I'm killing it. If it's a bird or a baby rabbit, much to the boys is what's the word I'm trying? Demise. That definitely happens. They're controlling that wild population that we have of domesticated rabbits of mine that got out. So it's the chicken coop, and then back to this carport situation that we're doing. At the same time, we've got to get the ducks set up because Mama Duck is on a nest of like, I think it's like 13 to 15 eggs. And Muscovies are known for having really good 100% hatch rate. Like that's one thing that they're known for. So, KJ, usually they wait till you're about to get up to go to the bathroom. Not him. He could really care less. He is not affectionate. He is not interested in anything.
Yeah. He'll follow you to the bathroom and they want attention.
Yeah, that is when he wants attention, when we go to the outhouse. Then he's like, hey, he comes in. We usually try to trick him with that to catch him at night. Because then he'll let you carry him back, but you gotta like clamp down because he's gonna try to escape. I don't know, I'm not a fan of cats like that. I like the cats that like to have affection, but aren't constantly pushing you for affection. Unfortunately, they are replacing the wild rabbit population. Yeah. Yeah, the domesticated rabbits, they will replace the wild ones.
I think she meant the overrun with kittens.
No, because I had talked about the domesticated rats. Rats. Rabbits. Hey, Jag. You're not that late. So does anybody have any questions? Definitely have a question. Put it in all caps so that I can answer it. Who wants if we catch the cat having kittens, who wants a live while we're there and she's having kittens to see what she has?
If she lets us.
Oh, she said I meant the kittens. Kira was right. Okay. I'm not a fan of the wild ones either because I'm tired of planting things and having them eat it all. I literally have, like right here behind you guys, beside my fruit trees and some blackberry vines. Are those blackberry or raspberry? Those are blackberry. And they're not even like the blackberry are contained, but then I have some blueberry, which they did get a hold of the blueberry. There's some of the leaves missing, but normally that would have been destroyed the night that we came and we put them down. The cats have kept the rabbits off of them, and I'm very happy about that. And the clematis would have been much bigger if the goat hadn't gotten a hold of it, but it's starting to take off. So yeah, that's kind of about it. We are going to talk to Kira's doctor about maybe adding an afternoon medication because she takes her, okay, you take your meds at what time? When you wake up. So whenever she wakes up, she takes them. 6 hours later, they're completely out of her system. So I want to have her take it at 6 a.m. She can go back to sleep. That's totally fine. I can wake her up, say, here, take your meds, 6 a.m. And then again at noon. And then they would be out of her system by 6 p.m. But then she wouldn't be, because we're in that time. One, it gives her more of a functioning day so that she can do her crafting stuff too. Because that's kind of what's happening is now our weather is we work early in the morning. Afternoon when it's hot, we do not work. We just work on staying cool. And then in the evening time, I'm trying to get back out here and work. But she can't because she just doesn't function at all. Which is why she's being very quiet. And why I constantly talk, because she's off medication. So she just puts in little tidbits of stuff. Vicky, will you have to weave the clematis or just tie it to the trellis? It actually has the little sticky tendrils that it sends out and does that. We had to, because it has a baby gate on it right now, surrounding it so the rabbits wouldn't eat it. And it was attaching itself to that and trying to climb up. So I think a little here and there, maybe we'll have to tuck them in if they're wanting to go wild, or just clip them off is probably what I'll do. But in general, it has those little sticky tendrils that it holds itself up, which I think is really cool. I am hardcore into the lowest maintenance possible. I do not want to be doing a ton of extra stuff for, you can only do that for so many things and then you have no time. So like the goats, once they're in milk, you're milking and you're taking care of milk and you don't have time for any extra other thing. Anna, I tried to be a morning person like you and I fell asleep drinking my coffee on the couch. Well, when Kira was gone at Comic-Con, because she went to Comic-Con, which she can tell you guys about that if you're interested, I had to stay up and do the late night generator because if the Bluetti is at 100% at 9 p.m., then when I get up in the morning, it's like at like 30%, but by 9:30, it's ready to start the generator again. There's a piggy touching another piggy, and she's not having it. Vicky, yes, low maintenance, everything. Hi, Dawn. So I had to stay up for that, and I was like, this is dumb. It's not that I can't stay up that late. I just like to be laying in bed reading or mellowing myself down for bed. Did your mom message? Okay, bye. Oh, don't stir up the dirt. Go far away and do that. They're going to run and dust us. I'm really hoping that I can get gravel all the way down this driveway this year. Trying to do some monthly. Victor is due to come drop off some more, and we're actually going to have it go into the arbor. And oh, we have some volunteer potatoes from, okay, their mom just messaged. I have to yell. Everybody turn your volume down. Hey boys, your mom's home.
Okay, so the boys and the duck.
And the duck. Yeah. Your mom just messaged. She's home. Jag. I have a morning corgi, which makes me a morning person. Yes, it does. Justin is my morning corgi, and Chloe would like to sleep in. Chloe would like, I honestly think Chloe is fairly bored with her life right now, which makes me sad.
Explains a lot of the judgment.
Right. But next year, I definitely want to expand bigger so that they have more room to run around. But I did training collars to start teaching off-leash work so that they can hang out here with us, because she's used to doing that with me. But up here, she wants to bolt. She wants to run. So another thing that I'm really wanting to test out, and I'm possibly going to pick them up next month, because I've bought all my budget stuff that's in my budget this year. Bye, guys. See you later, Gators. Look, Liam likes me.
Bye.
He's saying bye and giving Grandma hugs.
Can I sleep with you today?
No, you have to go in with your mom. I got an appointment tomorrow.
Oh.
Later, Gators. Thanks, sir.
I'm gonna take these 2 bedrooms.
Okay. You bringing out 2 other ones?
Bye.
Bye. Let's put her away.
You can pick them up.
So mean.
It's not mean. It adjusts them to being handled and messed with. Don, love the background. Thanks. I really love this arbor. I'm not even gonna lie. There's been a few times that I've stood up on my deck upstairs and looked at it at night with the little lights on. And I think it's because it just turned out really good, but two, it was a full start to finish project. Now, we do have to add the gates on the front so that we can close it up. And I do have to stain my lantern holders. So that's the next thing that we'll be doing for that. But before that, we have to get the chickens out of there. We got to get the ducks up there. Then we could do that. Then we do that. And then we have the barn. If we just get those things done this year, I'll be a very happy camper.
I think that'll see.
Next month, we have, there's a group that helps veterans with firewood. And so we're going to go, they actually give me a quart of firewood every winter. And so we're going to go volunteer and help for that, where they're cutting it and splitting it and stacking it. And he's like, we'll give you your quart at the same time if you guys show up. So we've got to have this setup ready to bring that quart of wood in and immediately set it up to where it needs to be.
Yeah, and then have the saws and stuff ready, because they're gonna do the natural 6.
I actually did not mind cutting it smaller during the winter.
It gives you something to do.
It gives me something to do, and on the nice days, I would just come out and do like 4 or 5 days worth, and have it ready to come in. And then anytime there was a really nasty storm or it got really cold, I came out and did a bunch of it. And with my PTSD, because I did not used to be this way, I have to have something that forces me outside. Once I get outside, I love it. But there's that initial force yourself outside situation. And in the wintertime, it's really bad. So I actually am not planning on pre-cutting them all up. I may do like a cord of it, just if we have really nasty weather that hits, I'm prepped. But I have enough of these rounds that are small that we'll just, when we split those, we'll section them in a different section than the ones that are bigger. So, and I can get another delivery of these rounds. And we have this one dead tree that has to come down and be cut. And we have a ton up there. So I think I'm set on firewood. But my stacking place is in front of the carport that's supposed to go in. And concrete, to do the concrete, it's going to be $500 to get the concrete all put in. And so I'm not going to be able to do that straight out the gate. So I think I'm just going to do the edge and then set and attach the carport to that with the bolts. And then as we go, or not even worry about it till next year. It's probably going to be a not worry about it till next year. And I'm just going to fill it full of gravel and compact that down so that it's really nice and compact, and then start moving the stuff in it that needs to be in it. And maybe next year do the concrete. I'm really leaning towards it being that. And there's a possibility that I may put plywood down, so at least it's like a plywood floor, but I don't even know if I'm going to do that. So, what about the goats? Are you doing anything for their area? Yes. So we have a ton of cleanup in there. Okay, so this was, actually I started saying this and I think I tuned out of it. I found some GPS collars that are actually for dogs that I want to try on the goats, because then I can do a GPS fence and I can let them go out into these areas that are really overgrown, and I can do a GPS fence and they can be out there and it'll give them a little shock, just like it does the dogs. It actually does a vibrating, and then it'll do a shock like if they were to touch an electric fence. And if I just put in a gate, then they would run back into their pen. So then I could really rotate them all the way around and let them start grazing out in the areas that need that grazed down and cleaned up, because it does get very overgrown. Like this spot that I'm looking at here in my little backyard area, is already getting pretty high, and I would love to be able to let them out there to eat that, because one, then I don't have to buy them hay. The other thing is, obviously we have a bunch of trees down. We are going to start cleaning them up, but I don't think I'm going to start really working on that until September, October, November, until we start getting a lot of snow, because I can't burn. So I'm really just creating these really big piles of branches that are then just going to sit. And then they get rained on and all that stuff, and they get burned. But it's getting to where it's getting too hot right now for me to even be out there. I'll have heat stroke and pass out. So I am putting that off, but it is in the plan to start whittling away at it and getting all the those trees out. So that's kind of a thing. So probably in September, I don't know. I really don't know, because I do need some trees to mill. But the barn is basically being made of a bunch of stuff that we already have over there. And so I'm trying to clean up that area by, got the generator running. So let me know if it's too loud. It's not much we can do about it because the Bluetti has to be charged. But, hi Tanya! So we are going to start cleaning that up and whittling away at that. They have about 100 by 200 area. The generator is being a turd. It needs to go in and get serviced. So we need to get the solar panels hooked up on the Bluetti, because it's not wanting to. It may need gas.
Nope, I filled it before we went and took our nap.
Okay. So yeah, I am planning on cleaning up that area. The area around the barn is going to probably have like an 8-foot fence, because in the winter time they don't really go out. And if we get if we get 4-foot snow, it's now a 4-foot fence. And they will play the escape game. But they basically have free feed hay. And they get to snack all day. We put out enough hay that they get to just nibble on it all day long. But I really would like to be rotating them around. So I found these collars. They're for dogs. It's for 3 dogs. So I can do my lead goats, and everybody else would follow them. So I would not have to buy more for all of them, if that makes sense. Because the babies will follow their mamas. Even the adult babies follow their mamas. With as much as you use it, it might be time to look for a sale on it. So that would be bad, because I can't afford one. So I'm really hoping it's not needing that. Because I really cannot afford $1,000 for another one, because that's what this one was. My son and I were chatting about that you know, we just need to plan on buying a new one every year. And I'm like, man, that just kills me. So much money. Hey, what's the Bluetti on?
I think 15.
Shoot. It's on like 15. So it has to be turned on. It doesn't like her, to be honest with you. Whenever I've kind of turned it on, it's turned on and been just fine. And there's not that she's doing anything different. Push the button, that's all I do too. But it does seem to do this a lot for her, and it only did it once for me, and then it stopped doing it. So I don't know. I'm gonna get a hold of them and the small engine repair guy and have him check the carbon monoxide exit area, because I know that did get some buildup on it. Hi Lou. Does the Jenny stall when a load is turned on? Sometimes it does. Right now, I know that this is... So, I did not clean the filter of the exit part, and so that little light has turned on, and you have to take that into a professional for them to change that sensor or fix that sensor. So it's doing it because of that. I pulled everything off of there and cleaned everything up. That's the reason why it's doing it. But I pulled all of that out, so it's not blocked anymore. I cleaned all of that up, but now that little light's on. So that sensor needs to be fixed for that. And I don't know how to do it. And the book says you have to take that in to get it done. Harbor Freight sells generators with additional insurance around $100. You can replace your generator up to 2 years, no questions asked. We have done this twice. That one may have that. I'm pretty sure I got that for that one. So I need to look at that because that would be nice to just go switch that out. They replaced with the same generator for free. I need to see if that has it. Maybe we'll pop in there tomorrow and I'll have them look it up. Because I'm pretty sure I got the insurance on it. Because that's, like I said, it's a big thing. That's where I got it, so maybe let it warm up a bit. Yeah, I will actually unplug everything because you're supposed to unplug everything, let it get going, and then plug stuff back in. If it goes back off, I'll tell her that. She's unmedicated right now, so she forgets things. You have to be nice to it and tell it it's special. That's exactly it. You have to tell the generator how pretty she is, how amazing she is, and how we need her.
Not tell her she's fat.
No, don't tell her she's fat. That's mean. It is running now. I do think that might have been what it was. Get everything unplugged off of it. There's a big turkey just laying in my yard. Thought it was a chicken at first. Yeah, KJ, that's when I got this one, was when that sale was going. I thought last year. I thought I've had this for a year. I guess it could be 2. I'm not sure. I think this one was $1,000 with the $300 off. Is what I think it was. It sounds like it's, yeah. Yeah, it's been about a year. Yeah, so I might just take it and swap it out. Okay, so that causes me so much anxiety because then I feel like, and I know it is what it is. That's why you pay for the insurance. But I'm like, it's my fault. I didn't clean out the back filter thing. Like, I didn't do that. I didn't do those things. Like, it's all me. But I definitely cannot afford for that bad boy to go down. I do have 12 solar panels, and you can hook 2 solar panel arrays to the Bluetti. And so between the 12 that I have and the 4 that came with the wind turbine, I can put those into 8 in each little thing and have it run in and plug into the, and that would be 1,600 watts coming in, and that would charge it. That's actually what the little bit less than what the generator brings in, and that would literally keep me charged all day long all summer. Now the winter time it's not as good, but all summer it's nice. That was my protein shake coffee. I like to drink my calories in the heat. Who else does that? Like, I just don't want to eat. I don't feel like putting food in my body when I'm hot. And I am really grumpy whenever I'm hot. I have to keep apologizing. Grandma's hot. Like, Grandma's hot. Don't ask her 900 questions. Who else is like that? I'm so like that. It's the 5,000 watt inverter one, right? No, 3,500. The 3,500 one is the one that I got. And I got the smaller one because it actually uses up less gas. Because I had that big giant one, and man, it took a lot of gas to run it and charge this one. So when I was talking to the lady at Bluetti, she was like, get the smallest generator that you can get that will charge it because you use less gas, actually. I don't know. And I feel like it has. And this one's pretty quiet. But I'm going to move it into the little carport so it'll be away from the house, so it'll even be quieter. But I do want to get my solar panels up. That is also on the list. I need to pull out my list and mark off the things we've gotten done. You guys, I cannot wait for you to see the backsplash and the stove and all of that. I really can't. And I really can't wait for you to get the cabinet above it done, because I think it's going to be so pretty. Vicky said me, I'm like that. Like what? Like what, Vicky? Oh, you get mean when you get hot? I am like so grumpy whenever I get hot. I do much better. Like if I'm hungry, I can be like, dude, I'm hungry. But when I'm hot, I'm like not a friendly person. Could it be an altitude issue? The 3500 is not on sale, but it's regularly 800. Grumpy in the heat. Okay. I don't think it's an altitude issue. I really think it was having zero problems until the little carbon monoxide light came on, and then I pulled all that off and it was totally gunked up. And then I cleaned all that off, and I've left it off. And so I need to put it back on. And then when I was reading it, it was like you have to take it in and have it, the sensor fixed on that, because it will continue to say that once you've triggered the sensor, you can't just turn it off. They have to do it. Or I don't know. I guess I could take it into a small engine guy that knows what he's doing and have him do that. But this guy's worked like a champ. Like, we really do run it a lot. Especially like right now, because we're running the swamp cooler too. And that thing takes like 300 watts of power to run. But it is worth it because it is hot. And if I get all my solar panels hooked up, once we get the generator to 100%, it would pretty much stay at 100% at that point. So we've got to shift them from where we have them because they're in the shade too much. And we're going to move them over east from where they are. And there's a section right there that does not get any shade at all, even in the winter time. And we're going to set them up there. Set up those. And we need to make another base frame for the other one so that we have two, and add on to this so that we can divide them into two, and then we can put 8 on one and 8 on the other, and then run separate lines in, because I already have the cords. I bought the cords already. It's just building the frame, the new frame, and getting them all set on there and hooking them up. So, and then like I said, that's 1600 watts max is what they could bring in. So that would keep the Bluetti fully charged up. And then we may have to run the generator just a little bit at night right before bed to get it back up to 100%. And I may have to early in the morning if I've run a bunch of stuff at night. Like when it gets really, really hot, I would love to be able to run the swamp cooler even at night, because it gets stupid hot on the days that, so we were 97 the other day, and today was supposed to be hotter than yesterday, and I don't think it was. I think yesterday was our hot day. And it was 97 up here, and it felt 90 degrees inside.
It was so hot. Like, we'd have to, like, be careful with what we were doing because we would get so sweaty.
Yeah.
Things would, like, fall out of our hands.
Yeah. And then I was grumpy. And that's the main day that we worked on doing the stove.
Yeah.
And
We powered through it.
we did power through.
And it sucked.
Yeah.
Because it was hot. She was getting cranky. I was off my
Meds.
meds. It was so, like...
So Kira's filming, and she has this terrible habit of putting the phone and then looking over the phone. So it totally cuts off everything that we're doing. It's like right under.
Or I'll get lost in thought and like...
Yeah, and then the camera does this. Like goes out, like, I'm like, oh, there she goes. Like, I have so much video of the counter.
Or I'll forget to push pause and you guys will go with me on my walk.
Yeah, that happens. There was multiples of those. I just edit all that out, but it does make it take longer with editing, but it's better than not getting anything, so I'm like, it's fine. The one thing that's the hardest is I speed a lot of things up, which I hope is not annoying, you guys. I hope that's not annoying. I like seeing everything get done, and I like the fast forward videos, especially when there's a voiceover, and people are talking about what they're doing as they're doing it. I'm not a fan of stand in front of the camera, tell me what you're going to do, and then there's a video of it. Like, just do it and tell me what you're doing as you're doing it.
Yeah. I look forward to
Hi, Juanita.
I look forward to the day she gets.
So does KJ.
Oh yeah. Wait, what?
She likes the fast forward of the voiceover.
Yeah, I look forward to the day we do a fast forward video and she's allowed to get that music tune where it goes.
Yeah.
I look forward to that day.
I am trying to do funny music when the boys or Kira, 'cause she loves it, are doing stuff. That I did find a section of that kind of music in my thing that I buy, my
Okay,
Epidemic
the
Sound. So Lou says that sounds like a solid plan. Solar during the day, hit the Jenny just before bedtime to top it off. Yeah, I think. And then obviously in the wintertime I would have to do it more and more, but also there's way less pull in the wintertime because I'm not running a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I do think my 2 freezers are going to come outside, and I'm just going to crack them open where it freezes them outside. So they wouldn't even be running on
Yeah.
the Jenny.
Which would be great because if that's the case, then
I think the Blue Eddy will last. I don't think I would have. I think it would be enough charging it up at night, but then letting the sun come up in the morning, and I probably wouldn't need to turn on the generator or start getting power in until probably 11 o'clock. Which
yeah.
by then there would be some sun.
Yeah, because last
Yeah.
year you didn't need to turn on the generator till I was getting up. I was getting up around like 9 or.
Yeah. Without so I have 2 small freezers that are plugged into it, along with the refrigerator and the stove, but that doesn't pull a lot of stuff. One thing that we are using more now than we did is the air fryer, and that does pull a lot, so we kind of just turn on the generator if we know we're going to run the air fryer, because that may be like a 16-minute thing.
Depending on what you cook.
Yeah.
She makes meatballs in the air fryer that taste good.
Oh, they're so yummy. And it's fantastic because I don't heat up the whole kitchen right now. But in the wintertime, it also is really nice because you're not then messing with the stove. But I like the stove because it helps heat up the house. So I would probably use the air fryer less in the winter. So anyway, we use a lot less electricity in the winter, which I guess is kind of surprising. I do say I watch way more TV in the wintertime. And I did this thing that may make that worse. I bought, when I make my bed frame, I bought the contraption that hides the TV into your foot part of your bed. My brain is not braining. And then it can come up, so I will actually have TV in my room.
She's going to switch the small TV for the big TV.
Yeah, so I got a TV on sale last year, and the oh, okay, and the thing that raises it and lowers it. I've literally had that for a year, and I'm not a big TV watcher, but in the wintertime I am. That's whenever I catch up on everybody's videos, my friends' videos and such, and people that I watch, is in the wintertime.
I know.
You do sleep a lot.
Yeah, but I'll hopefully be turning my upstairs area that Dad has upstairs into a warmer working area so I can do some resin during the winter.
Yeah, because you found that resin that you recently used does not have a bunch of scents.
Does not.
You don't have to hardcore vent it.
Yeah.
And it goes under the light, so it hardens really
Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
UV lighting is a lot better. If I were to do bigger projects, I'm going to do the A and B 1-in-1 resining.
Oh, Kira kept talking even though I interrupted. I'm so proud of you. High five. I always tell her, just keep talking, even if I say hi to people. Don't stop.
I wasn't
Okay.
focused on at this.
So Vicky
Oh.
likes the fast forwards also. Mary loves the arbor. Vicky loves the arbor. The video. I enjoyed making that video. I enjoyed editing that video. I am really bummed that it did the shortened, like it shortened on the screen. Now Kelly said that it fit her TV full size, that she didn't know what I was talking about. And so I don't know if she's done something to her TV that adjusts it to her size. But on my TV and on my computer, it was shrunken in, and it was such a bummer to me because I really liked that video. But I'm planning on moving back into that. I'm getting back my mojo, I feel like.
Yeah. Something else. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to. I have A and B that I want to get used while I'm here. So I'm thinking when you go to make the little side table thingy for the top bunk for my thing, I want to spray paint it, put some stickers on it, and then put a top coating of A and B resining to let it harden to be a nice
Okay.
cool surface.
Yeah, that'd be fun. KJ says that she has sleep issues if she has a TV in her bedroom. I have honestly...
That's you too.
That's her. I have honestly been anti-television in the bedroom pretty much my whole life.
What happened to this being shaded?
Well, it's just your spot. You have to shift a little. Remember we played the shifting from the sun game. Still doing it. Dang, still doing it. That's terrible. But I definitely find in the winter time, I like to edit laying in bed, but I will turn the TV off because I love to read. So I will turn the TV off and lay there and read, which then makes me tired and then I fall asleep. So the carnivore diet has very much so helped with not having any of that anxiety or sugar in the
Wearing a parasol next month.
that'll do it. That'll keep you in the shade. So as long as I stick to that, if I don't have any carbs or sugars or sweeteners or whatever, in fact, the protein shakes that have one sugar in it is like super sweet to me whenever I stick on carnivore. We've kind of fallen off the food diet wagon and I've totally been feeling it. Like my hands are swollen right now.
Yeah.
Actually, just from drinking that. That was a coffee protein shake.
Yeah. She did have a Reese's cup and ice cream.
That was earlier, but they just now swelled up as I drank that.
Whatever's in
Look
that.
at her throwing me under the bus.
Hey, I'm
Luz-
the one that bought the Reese's cup, so I'll throw myself under the bus.
Luz-
I wanted one cup, and I was like, it's packed 4, and I only wanted one. I was like, oh, there's like 4 of us in the car.
There's 4 in the car. Lou says, I really like the hanging lamps on the arbor. What a nice touch. Of course, we need to run some LED lights to it. So those are solar candle lights. So at night, it's this super pretty soft glow.
Now say that 3 times.
I can't hardly say it once. Kelly was like, I need to get you some twinkle lights for it, and that would be really pretty. But the problem is I have a window on my door, so if there's any light out here and I get light into my room, I cannot sleep. And I do like to have that window open.
I think the good thing about twinkle lights is they're not bright.
They're not. I do think it would be really pretty to have.
If they were fairy lights, oh yeah, those things are great.
Well, and the motion sensor light that I had would light up this whole front yard, and that was fine, except for...
I noticed that because I was like, what is that?
I know, and it like wakes you up, and you're like, what in the world? Someone's pulling in the driveway. That's what I kept thinking it was, and then I would panic and have to get up, and yeah, it was either the rabbit. It was low.
It was rabbits and bugs.
Yeah, would flip it on. It was super sensitive. Oops.
Nice note is you know it worked.
Oh, right. We need to have the how many times do they shift in the sun bingo. I do like doing the lives out here. I actually really enjoy it, especially if we have something like this that we just built and we get to sit by it and you guys get to see it and we get to talk about it and that kind of stuff. Like hopefully next time we'll be sitting in front of the chicken run and you guys can see all the cute chickens, and they have gotten adorable.
Yeah, I don't mind it as long as there's like no bugs. I don't like bugs. That's why I like when we do it inside. Cause
I told her today, I was like, I feel like we need to get a bunch of little lavender plants and put them on our windowsills inside because supposedly the bug. The other thing that we need to get, and I've been seeing a ton of ads for them, is the dragonfly thing. That dragonflies eat bugs, so when there's dragonflies around, the bugs disappear.
makes sense because they crazy though.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I learned something. Dragonflies can eat tadpoles. Well, dragonfly babies. Their mandibles, when they have a part of their in the water when they're babies, they have a pincher jaw that extends really fast, kind of like a gecko's tongue, or a chameleon's tongue, and it'll grab onto whatever they're aiming for, pull it in so they can eat it.
Oh.
It was super cool.
So Jag asked, was the arbor? I'm assuming you meant was it a kit, not a cat, or did you build it from scratch? I built it from scratch, and actually everything on it, except for the lights I got from the dollar store. They were $5 a piece. The hooks we did get from Home Depot. The posts I got from Home Depot last year on their little clearance thing and paid $6 a post for them. There was 4 of those, and actually there were 3 of those, and then the 4th post was in that we had milled last year. The 2x8s we had milled, and the 2x12 that I used for this arch part was also milled over in our lumber stack. I'm trying to use up that lumber, and the cattle panel I already had. The 2x4s we bought last year and Yoshugibon them, and they've just been sitting. And so it really honestly cost me right around $50 to build this because of everything that I had on hand. And now the chicken coop is costing me a little bit more because we really don't mill 2x4s, and I'm doing this with 2x4s. So be a few things that are milled lumber, but I'm using metal that I already have. So I'm honestly stealing from my shop build, and I'm just gonna have to replace the stuff at the shop build because
apparently the mill's coming.
The mill is coming back. My son's had it at his shop in town and has been milling, but it's gonna come back. And so we'll probably take like 1 day a week and mill as much as we can and then use that up. That's kind of my plan with that. So I think the only thing that we really, if I can get my barn done, the chicken run done, the duck area set up for the ducks won't be over there in the wintertime. They'll be in the barn, but I need that set up. A little bit of fencing, start the fence, replacing this fencing. The pig thingy is going to be moved. So I have a carport that has a metal roof on it that's literally been under the trees, and I've had it since we moved here, and that thing is held up like a champ. We're actually I'm going to try to talk people to come help me grab a leg and walk it over to where it's going to be. And then we're going to shorten the legs for the pigs, and that's going to be the pig barn. And that actually is going to be the divider between my garden orchard and the pasture area. So I want to get that moved this year. I want to get the barn built and the chicken coop done and the carport right here by the house put up, and a metal roof put on it and the sides on it. If I get that stuff done this year, I will be very happy. I do want to move the RV also and take down that center walkthrough thing. I want to take all that down. But if we can get those things done this year, I'm golden. Like, I'm good to go. And then next year we would be in the position to go back to the shop and work on the shop. well, Victor's got a friend that he can get logs from that are the 20-foot logs to mill the things that I need to re-mill that we're sealing from and using. So we have fresh lumber to do that upper part. And then it's hiring a crane. So we'll get all those up and set up and assembled, and then we'll have a crane come in and lift them up and put them in place. And then if I finish the shop next year, I'm happy camper. I would really like to finish the shop and the deck off of the shipping container, because I think adding that deck at least along the front, it would make a huge difference for us. I get you with that voice to text. It messes me up all the time. Thank you, I appreciate it. So that's the lightning bugs flying around. It would be beautiful. I love lightning bugs. We do not have them here.
I have to bring a breeding pair or something back from Kentucky.
They wouldn't survive here. We get too cold, I think, in the wintertime, but we just don't have them. We used to, so my grandparents are from Illinois. I have a lot of family in Illinois and around Alton, Illinois, and we would sit around and catch lightning bugs all the time. I loved it. Loved watching the lightning bugs. Miss the lightning bugs. I wish we had them. We do not.
I remember sitting in Alabama on Todd's enclosed porch or whatever it is, and we would watch all the lightning bugs, and everybody would eat s'mores.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Also, my goats are not pregnant. It's official.
Curtis is rude.
Curtis was a fence jumper today, so he's going to freezer camp real quick. Because once they start doing that, they won't stop doing that. And then they teach the other goats to do it, and it is bad, bad, bad. So Pedro and Curtis are going to freezer camp. So we're actually doing a goat smoke. I need to build a smoker for 4th of July. I'm trying to do a goat smoke. Because we get fireworks over the lake, and anything that's not eaten, we could literally put in little single-serving freezer bags, seal them up, and have it all the rest of the winter. So that would be fantastic.
Yeah. I wish it was lamb.
I do wish it was lamb. The lamb was really, really good. And I think it's hilarious that she loves it as much as I do. Because she was like, I hate lamb. It's fine. You can have all of it. And I'm like, maybe you should just try it. She's like, I'll try it, but I'm telling you, I hate it. Ooh, this is really good.
I took one bite. I was like,
she's like, dang, this is really good.
it went from picky cat to velociraptor
Yeah,
baby.
she's like, I have it. But we have a replacement buck coming in to replace Pedro. And I do have 6 ewes and 1 ram. So next spring, we should have probably 9 lamb babies. And I'm getting down to my 4 does with the goats. So on there we should have, they might all have twins. Miss K could have triplets. She is a triplet, and her mom had triplets a lot. So she really could produce triplets. But that should fill our freezer. We should be good. And I was asking my friend Jen about one of those miniature smaller cows. What kind of cow breed does she have?
I only know.
I thought it was the same as your mom's.
Yeah, the Black Angus.
Yeah. Anyway, she has this gorgeous little bull who's now a steer.
He's so cute.
Oh my word, he's a little beast. And I'm like, I want one of those for my freezer, but he is really cute.
Yeah, like, so Olivia was showing us her goats.
She does 4-H. Olivia does 4-H.
Yeah, and they're talking about the goat. I turned around and I was like,
She's like,
yeah, I'm like, my head's going, I'm going to pet your face. So I put my finger in there, he boops it himself, and I was like, yes. And then I started scratching his face, and he was like,
yeah, he's like, don't stop. He was awesome. He is a very masculine, stocky little bull steer.
yeah.
And so I'm really thinking about trying to set aside funds to pick up one of those next year
Before I
to
forget.
raise.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Before I forget, anybody who walks into Walmart, make sure you have thick shoes. I stepped on a tack or something.
In
yesterday.
Walmart?
Yeah.
Oh, is that
yes.
where you got? That is where you got.
Yeah, or something. And I was like,
So we don't have tax around here.
yeah, like, what? What's this gold thing in my shoe? I pulled it out thinking it was like maybe like a golden rock stone painted or something. Pulled it out, no, it was a sinking tack. And I was like, I had flashbacks from when I stepped on a nail and I had to go get a tetanus shot. And I was like,
Totally did the same
I
thing.
was like, thank you God.
Our local Walmart had a water main break and has been closed all day today. It should be open by now, but
Yeah, open
people were
around
freaking out on Facebook, man.
Yeah. And she's like, just do it. You're like,
Well, I was like, just close the bathrooms because everybody was freaking out online that, well, the bathrooms don't work, so they have to shut it down. And then someone else said, after Kira said,
yeah. She said, just use the bathroom. I was like, I'm wondering if they close the whole store down because without any water and a fire happens and there's no sprinkling water.
and I was like, oh, that makes total sense. You're
Because-
probably right.
Yeah, because
But they legally would have to.
yeah, everybody would go into a tizzy panic and probably murder one another. Or something.
KJ said it's when the Waffle House closes. You need to really panic. Yeah, it was funny on Facebook reading everybody's stuff. They were like, when is it going to open? I need to get in it. Which I get it. There are times that I've just been like, I have to get in there.
Yeah, like, so we just barely made it out before
Yeah,
everybody.
because we were there this morning.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't put it off because that would have been a bummer.
Yeah.
I mean, not like anything that we got, the two things that we got.
yeah.
We could have gone without, but
No, we couldn't have.
what'd we get?
Ice cream and
Oh, we did. The boys were here and they were like,
lactose free milk.
the lactose free milk and it's hot. So we were like, I was like, let's get ice cream. And they were like, yeah.
Oh, Liam and Jim's like, yes.
Which is funny because normally he's like, meh. Jasper's the one that's like all about it with me.
Yeah. It was super funny. We were coming up the driveway and Liam said something. I was like, yeah, that's definitely your grandson. Oh, it was the ice cream. He was going back to the ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, when do we get
He's
ice
like,
cream?
when do we get the ice cream? She's like, that's totally your grandson. You guys, I eat ice cream in the wintertime. I don't even care. I love my ice. And I really got to making a really good carnivore ice cream off the Deep Wagon. If I have that, I can stick to the diet. So I'm going back to making it, and I'll wean myself off of that later.
I just realized I don't get my hot cocoa no more. I have perfected my own type of hot cocoa.
You have? Because you've never made hot cocoa for yourself here.
Yeah, I only did it at Dad's because it was cold in winter, and I was
Yeah.
like, I need a recipe. And she
Well, you
goes,
could-
this, and that. I was like,
You
okay.
could do your lactose milk. I feel like on the level of things that are bad for you, hot cocoa versus protein, Red Bull is way better for you than a Red Bull.
Yeah, because I'll admit, because I liked the cocoa I was making. I would get the dark chocolate choco balls, truffles, and put those in as the sweetener, so I wouldn't have to use any sugar or anything. And
Any added sugar. Because those things have a ton of sugar in them.
I don't taste it. I use dark chocolate.
It
So-
still has a ton of sugar in it.
It's so weird. Dark chocolate's not that sweet.
Remember, I had you look it up. It was a truffle, though.
Yeah.
So that's a dark chocolate shell, and then on the inside, there's a whole lot of stuff. Man, my hand is really hurting me today.
Oh, we can jump in the car then.
Why?
Because they said if you're getting an inflammation, you have to go in.
They're closed.
They're dumb.
Okay, so my doctor, we'll talk about this. You guys, so she's like, well, you look fine. So you need to come in when you have a flare up, or I don't believe you that you have a flare up. So, because I just went in, here's the list of things that have been going on since I've seen you the last 3 months. And she's like, no, you need to come in when you're having a flare up. So what? We have a flare up over the holiday week. I had a major flare up over the holiday weekend.
During the wedding, too. Because
That was a holiday. That was a holiday weekend.
Oh,
Memorial.
Yeah.
So of course they're closed. And then like now in the evening time, of course they're closed. Oh, Kira's 6:15, but I already made your sleepy time tea.
Yeah.
We can drink it. We'll go
Hey
back.
Danielle, I gave you a shout out in I think our members live to text me because I wanted to ask you something. So there's that. And I had your phone number, but I don't think I saved it in my phone, and so I couldn't message you. So text me so that if you still have my number, text me so that I can message you. Yeah, she's like, okay, we'll do. All right, we're good. Gosh, it's so beautiful right now. The other thing that's been really cool is the little work area is basically in the shade. It's in the sun right now, but if I was to be making my panels, my little fence panels, I would be in the shade. So this area has just worked out really well to have as a workspace.
I just thought of something funny.
What?
Her and I have very different ideas of beautiful days.
We really do.
If I was in Anacortes and it was cloudy like it is all the time there, I'd be like, oh, nice good morning. Because I don't have to worry about dying from the sun or being cooked or a lot of bugs.
I don't know how she does it in Kentucky with the humidity. Well, she doesn't go outside.
I do not. Dad
how.
forces me to go outside because I
That's how.
accidentally got him hooked on Pokemon Go. So
Yeah.
that one's on me.
So then they go walk around looking for Pokemon.
Yeah.
But as long as it's shaded, I'm good. If I'm in full sun, I can't handle it. But if I'm in the shade, I'm good.
I am happy that the trail you picked, that's 5 miles long, is shaded.
Yeah, that would be terrible in the sun.
I think 2 miles of it's not.
So I don't know. Tomorrow morning, what time's we're getting our hair cut, you guys, tomorrow morning.
I got a text from her.
What that's at what, 1 something?
No, 11:45.
Is it 11:45?
Yeah, Thursday would have been 1 something.
Okay. So we're going in to do that. So tomorrow afternoon, and we're supposed to drop, we're having another little go back into the 70s time swing. So I think we're not going to do much in the morning, but finish this video and get it out, and then go get our hair done and come back and finish making panels for the chicken coop. We got to get that done. I feel bad that they're all, there's enough room for them in the little quail grow out pen, but there are 23 of them in there, and that's a lot.
Yeah. I kind of don't feel bad because they're all running around like crazy being fine. I do feel a little bad for the quail. That's about it. Because the quail are like,
So I had 20 quail, and either the dogs or the kids accidentally unplugged them. Could have been either, because I caught the dogs doing it the other day, running past it and knocking it off of the plug-in on the Blue Eddy. And I lost 15 of them, so I have 5 right now, and I think I'm going to see if I can pick up some more eggs to put in the incubator tomorrow. So that would be the other thing that we would go do. But then we're going to come back and we're going to jump in on this chicken coop so we can get them moved out. And then the quail can go out here. Those 5 quail can go out.
yeah. I have to ask, when are we going to plan our full day, no nothing day?
When I get caught up on some stuff. Since we were lazy at the beginning of the year and didn't actually take advantage of the really nice weather
In our defense,
for
we
like
were
a
stressed.
month.
In our defense, we were stressed about a wedding.
We were stressed about the wedding, but we're now trying to play catch up to that.
Yeah.
So once we get caught up to where we were supposed to be at this time of year, then like Sunday, we took Sunday off. I went and picked you up.
Yeah.
You were in Comic-Con, and then so
Yeah.
you had your weekend.
Yeah. Well, the reason
Look at her looking for another weekend.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking is because I want to, when we're doing a day of like just puttering, like that doesn't require us to like go outside for like hours on end. I want to try to actually get into doing a little bit of earring making.
Yeah. That's probably going to be August. We're trying to really slow down for the month of August because of how hot it is. And when I get really hot, I cannot jump back into working. So my plan is for me to get up super early, come out 4 o'clock in the morning, and start doing some work. There's no way she's going to be able to do that.
No, I will.
So I'll get
cover.
everything done that I can get done, and it's going to be smaller things. Maybe building more rabbit cages, those kinds of things that really only take me by myself, and then the rest of the day is really just trying to stay cool. And then I found when I get really hot like that, I cannot work in the evening time. Like right now, I could work in the evening time, but I'm going to finish editing. If I wasn't editing, I would come out here and work on these cages. But so I'm really trying to stay to the month of August, like we discussed, having that as a much more relaxed.
All right. Okay. Because I want to get something started and made when I'm here before I go back to Dad's. Because I know once I go
Hi,
back.
Dixieland Homestead.
I know once I go back to Dad's, there's going to be probably a good chance of hit and miss. Did you do any residenting? No, I slept.
So we do where she calls me, and we're actually going to try to walk on our treadmills.
I am doing a bike thing.
She's doing a bike where her
Yeah.
takes her bicycle and it makes it a stationary bicycle. So she's going to do that, and we're going to chit chat while we walk on the treadmill, and she rides her bike.
Yeah. I am going to get a treadmill because I do have to go back and forth. Otherwise, I'll get bored of something. I'm like,
Yeah,
because I do that.
yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
I bought the treadmill for this last winter and then never used it.
I know. I was so excited for her to tell me how it
I've
works
never used-
because I wanted to buy that same one. but I was
Honestly,
like,
I thought the one that I got had the handles in the front to give you something to hold on. It doesn't. So you're just like free doing it. There's nothing to hold on to, and I'm like, I will fall.
hey, this is a good chance for you to get back into your dancing.
Yeah, my Zumba on the treadmill. So
I remember Zumba. I can't dance worth
Zumba
crap,
was
even when
so
it's,
much fun.
even when it's like choreographed for me. I still can't dance. Dad's like, I don't know this kid. That's not mine. Which is so sad because my mom and my dad can both dance so amazingly. I can't do it.
I taught your mom to dance. She could not dance whenever
Yeah.
I met her.
Yeah, but I think
She
it
was all knees and elbows.
yeah. I think, but once you taught her and she got hooked on
Yeah.
dancing, she took off.
But that's
with
what we
it.
did. That's what we did in Hawaii. We all went dancing. Like that was
Yeah.
that was.
I
Well,
would've-
we were E1 through E4s, and we were broke, living in Hawaii, and that's the only thing we could do.
Yeah,
could afford to
and-
do.
So apparently, I would have either been the designated driver or the sit at the table and just observe everybody person. Because
Nah, somebody would have grabbed you and taught you how. Because once you learn the steps and you get comfortable in the steps, then getting the rhythm and stuff comes with that.
Yeah, I have no rhythm. My dad has said that twice.
George Jetson, stop this crazy thing.
Yeah, I don't know where we're supposed to stop it. No.
So funny. Oh, well, it is 6:23, so I think we're probably going to head out, and I'm going to finish editing. I had 5 hours worth of footage from this last video that I started on, and I did the first big edit, and I think I'm at like 48 minutes that I have to whittle down
Yeah.
a little bit.
I want to know, because who else wants bloopers? Because I love bloopers.
The bloopers were fun, but I'm trying to keep the videos at a certain time, a certain length. And I have a really hard time cutting some stuff because, I don't know, I think it's valid.
Ooh, you could do Blooper Sunday.
I could do a video of bloopers if they would make sense, I guess. But I've been in a very, very serious mood for like the last few months. And I feel like I'm just now starting to get like the way that I normally am. Actually, I would say all winter long. I had a really hard winter. So I feel like I'm starting to get more like I'm enjoying myself again.
Yeah. I get bored, so I'm also kind of trying to stay focused. I'm not doing great. Oh! My convention, if anybody was wondering, went awesome. I got
2 days.
Yes, I went for both days. My cousin's like, if I do this again, I'm doing one day. I was like, that's okay, because I got so excited when I was there, and I was like, wee, just strolling. I've learned that my cousin and I have very different speeds.
Well, Kira went, which is what I assume you would go to do, to go in and check out all the vendors. It's just like whenever I've gone to a homesteading vendor and I go in convention, I go into every one of the vendors, and you look at things and you talk to people and you chit chat and you
did not
interact.
do that.
She was like, I want to do a speed walkthrough and be like, yeah, okay, good, I'm out. And Kira's like,
Yeah, the beginning part was fine. I worked with it, but when I was starting to come off my meds, I was starting to get all 9-year-old whiny. But I did have a lot of fun. I did talk to this girl, or lady, I don't know, about her chainmail, and her chainmail is really awesome. I asked her how she did her aluminum rings, because I tried to do bracelets and aluminum rings, but the rings just kept coming undone. So she said that she uses these two people she orders them from, and they also have it to where you can order the wire yourself and make your own rings. So I was like, oh, and she goes, I'm trying to get the courage to make my own rings. It's like, I figured it out. I just haven't done it yet because my mentor kind of passed away. She goes, oh, and I was like, I know. So,
oh, that was Barbara.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, mom's husband's mom, if you're all wondering. And, so she's going to do a class, and I was just like, I can't come. She goes, why? I live in Idaho. She goes, oh, yeah, that is far. I was like, if you do video fit classes,
Yeah,
I'll do that.
exactly. The video stuff, Zoom class or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, because I really want to expand my chain, because I enjoy doing the chain.
Well, I think that's the other thing we talked about was in August, where I can jump into my soap making and start up that inventory to sell, and my sewing stuff. I've been collecting material to do my sewing stuff, and then she was going to be doing some jewelry and such like that, and I can develop the website for stuff that we can sell. That was kind of the plan for August, because it's just too dang hot to do anything.
Yeah, and jewelry making here is easier here than Dad's, because
we're well ventilated, like with all the windows and such.
yeah, but
I also hang out with you.
yeah, but there's also a lot of more space at Dad's for me, because I have to do the curing and all that for some of it, but I have to take some of it to a different table for it to cure itself.
Right. But you're not using that stuff here.
Yeah, not here.
Because we can't have stuff sit out because of the cats and the dogs and the hair and
Yeah.
the silver moon, like all the things.
Yeah. So doing jewelry here would be a lot more easier, because I don't have to like expand much. I just have to like open one container, pull out what I need, close the container and put it back in.
And that was the purpose of doing your bed, loft bed thing, is to get
Yeah.
your desk underneath
Yeah.
and be able to do that. So
Yeah.
once we get that finished, then you'll have
Yeah.
a desk space.
I am looking forward to when we get it closed in the bed, because once we get that closed
You were
in,
just complaining it was hot.
I know, but I can't bury myself under pillows if I.
It's
if
hot out there.
there's- I know, but still, I will have a fan, and there will be circulation.
Ice packs. Mary, that little thing that you sent me for the migraine headaches.
I need.
She needs one. I need to buy her one. Because it got so hot
Yesterday.
yesterday. I had that thing on my head, and it was really cold because it came from the freezer. So I could only do it for a little bit, and then I'd pull it off and I'd put it in, and it kept me really cool. And I actually have been, whenever I go up for my nap, I take it with me, and it helps keep me cool. That thing is amazing. And it freezes, and you can warm it up. So in the wintertime, it could be a warming thingy. So yeah,
Yeah.
need to order some more of those.
Yeah. If they come in purple, let me know, because I want to.
Just send me the link so I can go on there and look. Because I think I actually posted the link
Yeah.
in our little group chat, and then I need to go look at it.
Yeah. Because if it's a pastel purple, I don't. Pastel purple.
Does it matter if it keeps you cool and warm?
I will be
Does it
making
matter
it a
that
sleeve.
much?
Yes, it does. Don't judge me. I don't.
I don't even care what color it is. That sucker keeps me cool because it is so freaking hot.
Yes, it does to me because I get like all pouty with stuff if it's not like a certain thing or a certain way. I don't judge you with your things. Don't judge me.
All right, guys, we're gonna take off. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye. Okay, rigor mortis is set in. My body's like, no.
I cannot